What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Translation, powered by Translation Media. I got it right that time.
That's right.
So, man, thank y'all for joining us. We got a great episode today, man. I am Kurt Blair. I'm here with my co-host,
Nick Beam. What's going on, everybody?
Man, Nick is on a high horse right now. So we got some power. We got some power hitters in the building. So we want to champion our people that we have in here today. We got the beautiful Seattle. How you doing?
Good. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out. She a little bit on cloud nine, so we're gonna stop. But then we also got the beautiful B.A. in the building.
B.A. in the building.
Hey, this is a last minute thing. I want to thank her for coming out. We just a couple days ago, I popped on with Seattle, and she was like, "Man, I want to bring some more people on here with me, and that would help and give us some more insight what's going on into the industry, into the cannabis industry." And she was just like, "Man," I said, "Let's do it." And I'm always about that. But man, thank you for coming on here, Seattle. We're gonna start with you today.
Yeah.
What's up?
The coolest mofo out there. What you got going on, man? Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us people about Seattle.
Where you from? You're not from Seattle, so where you from
I'm
first
not
and
from
foremost?
Seattle. I'm originally from the Bay Area, San Jose.
Bay Area.
Love San Jose.
I was there, like, in and out, elementary, middle school. Moved to San Diego for a little bit, and then went to the East Coast. I was in North Carolina for some years, Miami, and then went back to North Carolina. And then I came to Vegas.
Nice.
Got some Rolling Stones, man. You and Nick, boy.
Yeah, you gotta pop around.
You got to.
We got
That's
similar
an
energy.
experience. Like, I'm very blessed because, I thought I'd be just growing up in Cali, but my mom remarried someone in the military, and and at first, as a teen, I'm like, I hate this. I'm leaving all my friends. I can't smoke weed no more. Like,
Right.
I'm going to North Carolina. Ain't shit out there. I never heard of this city that we're moving to.
Right.
And it actually taught me a lot, and I'm really blessed for that because it taught me about life and just people, and I'm really, really thankful for that experience.
And you learn who you were in that journey, man.
Yeah,
And that's key.
100%.
A lot of people don't understand, like, when we talk about different things, man, people finding out who they are as a person is key to your journey and where you're going to in the next phases of life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, people say you need therapy. I went to therapy when I was 13, 14. And so I really am cognitive about who I am as a person. And I've well traveled, but also I know other things that have come into my life that has shaped and molded me who I is, entrepreneurship being one. And so just tell us about how some of those things shaped and molded who you are as a person.
Oh, man. Well, I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease when I was 12 called Behçet's. That definitely shaped me to who I am today. Okay. Definitely my love and my passion for cannabis and the medicinal aspects of it. Medicine, you know what I'm saying? So when I got diagnosed, I don't want to say like a guinea pig, but the disease was so rare. I was like one of five children in San Diego or California diagnosed with the disease, and there was only 2 females. It's a male predominant disease at the time. So, being in the hospital for 2-3 months at a time, I was homeschooled.
Wow.
Didn't have any friends. Like, and I was always a social kid. Like, if you ask my parents, I was always out and about. My parents, used to throw raves. Shout out to Funky Techno Tribe. Deep in the house scene in the Bay Area. So I grew up around a lot of that and music, and that was kind of like my outlet. Like, I was in the hospital listening to music all the time, and then that's how I learned how to speak and express through music. And again, I didn't have any friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved to the East Coast, I had the opportunity to go to regular school. I was just in homeroom and lunch. My mom was like, you need some kind of interaction. You just moved to a brand new small town, don't know anybody. And that kind of taught me how to be more social. And when I was younger, I was kind of ashamed of being sick. I didn't want to be treated differently. I was a soccer athlete, wanted to travel the world, wanted to be like a famous goalkeeper, and my illness just kind of changed everything about my life, my family, my life, everything. And over time, I feel like because of it, I felt it was like a curse, but now I feel it as a blessing because I'm able to speak. I know how to read people, and I feel like I'm more empathetic. And I don't know. It taught me a lot, to be honest. And over time, cannabis is what got me being more confident, really, because I'm not in pain. I'm not overthinking. I'm able to function. My autoimmune disease is like a form of vasculitis, so you get inflammation anywhere you have veins. I was at a point where I had inflammation in my brain where I could black out, and then my blood flow stops and I die. Like, it was at that point, so I'm constantly having IV medications, IV steroids, hence why I was in the hospital all the time. So when I got out the hospital, it was kind of like when I was living in Cali, my dad had his medical card, a couple of his friends grew weed, and he was just like, there's a bowl packed in the garage, if you want to. And it kind of just turned into that. And when I moved to the East Coast, it wasn't legal. So then I was going to the streets. And at that point, I was learning, okay, I knew what indica, I knew what sativa was. Then I started learning about, like, the different smells and, you know, the different shapes of the nugs and everything like that. And then I just started doing my own research and taste testing, being a guinea pig, but with cannabis, you know? I was like, if they're putting all these other meds in me, pumping me with IVs, all these other crazy chemo type of therapy medication, why can't I do this with a plant, you know? And that's kind of what shaped me to where I am today and where I'm able to be in the cannabis industry and be an advocate for it. And, you know, meet awesome people like B.A. and, you know, work for people like the Grower Circle. I opened cookies here in Las Vegas. I also had the opportunity to open cookies in Thailand.
Nice.
For sure. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. I didn't think I was going to get this far. I just love to smoke weed because it helped me with my health, you know. And I was, you know, trapping back in the day. I'd buy, you know, an ounce or whatever, and sell the grams.
Right.
But I would teach the people that I'm selling to. And, like, sometimes I have somebody's grandma, like, oh, I heard you were sick, and my grandson said that, you know, this helped you. Like, can I try it? Like, I gave it to her for free. And then next thing you know, she's a regular customer.
Hey, Dr. Seattle, there you go.
Not even doctor, and I would educate her too, you know. And then I learned about terpenes and, like, you know, we had Leafly, we had weed maps, but there wasn't enough education online about it. So it was literally just being in the streets, going to the grows, and just talking to the trappers and learning about, like, where the genetics came from and what they do and how they help. You know? And then over time, like, you know, all the research we're still researching, we're still breaking ground now, you know. Now to say that I can go to Thailand and I open cookies Thailand, we can smoke weed in the street. Thailand's crazy. They were chopping off people's hands like not even 5 years ago for smoking weed out there, you know.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
Change the world.
And it's community. It brings people from all walks of life together, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the Grower Circle. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
The Grower Circle is a cultivation here, started in 2013. Same thing. They're trappers. They wanted it's medicine for them. They were doing it for medical reasons for family members, and they came together and just started pheno hunting and growing together, trapping, you know, in high school, and kind of came to where we're at now. And now we grow for cookies in Nevada legally and Backpack Boys legally, and then of course our own strain lines as well. We have over 50 strains that we grow just ourselves, and then we have the cookies and Backpack Boys. And then we also have hash rosin infused gummies, Flight Bites, which you can buy in also New Mexico and California.
Fire.
Yeah, that sounds scary. That sounds like a slippery slope with the edibles.
That's the #1 edibles in Nevada. We won a High Times Cannabis Cup a couple years ago.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, we're really proud of that, man. Yeah, it's hard to get gummies down, and like I don't know, you've tried the Flight Bites. You can't even taste a lot of gummies. Like you can taste the weed in it. We put nerds in there. We put like cereal in there. You can't even tell there's weed in it.
Wow.
You know.
Have you ever taken a flight without taking a flight?
That sounds like a flight, first class.
Yeah.
Man, when I had an edible on the plane, I used to do edibles, and I had an edible on the plane. I thought the whole plane was going to crash.
Yeah.
I was on one I was like, man, just go to sleep. Feel like just go to sleep. I couldn't even go to sleep, man. It was the whole plane ride was terrible. I took one from Vegas to Chicago, and I was just like, you know what? I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably needed the right strain. I don't know.
Right
I didn't get the right one. So
everybody's body reacts differently, especially with edibles. You know what I mean? Even with like when there's however you're consuming cannabis, any medicine. Like some people can't take ibuprofen, some people can. Advil, you know what I mean? Same thing.
Yeah.
Because it is medicine at the end of the day. Or like, you know, some people like get rashes from certain type of flowers. Same thing, allergies. You know. And that causes anxiety, causes your body to kind of like start tripping out. So
absolutely,
it is like taste testing and understanding your body and what you need, you know, and what you're consuming.
Yeah.
I smoke weed all the time, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I ended up staying 8 hours in the bathroom on a red eye because I got too high.
In the bathroom?
Yeah. So long story short, I used to go on sisters trips with my big sister, and we had gotten in a fight like a month before this trip to Australia. And so we had met up at the airport, and this was back in the day before you could properly dose things. So she comes with like a bag of cookies, and they were infused, obviously. And so like I'm like, fine, this is a you know, waving the white flag type of deal. So I'm gonna eat this with you. Long story longer, we're in the plane ready to take off, and like now that's where the fun's happening. We're like cracking up, throwing our pillows, pretending to fall asleep, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, when you close your eyes and it hits you, and
that kick in.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh. So I ended up in the bathroom saying my prayers while laughing. And like 8 hours in, all of a sudden I'm walking out of the bathroom now because I was just that high. So I feel you on all of that. We all have those edible moments that are going to jack you up.
I got plenty. Yeah.
I definitely have to.
Yeah, I had to cancel a couple business meetings, one in Atlanta particularly because I had a wild night in Miami. So that's another conversation for another day. But yes, I've had a similar experience. I actually didn't get on the plane though. I got through security clearance, made it all the way to the gate, and then turned right back around. I was like, if I get on this plane, I was just too high. Yo,
You
already
thought they
high
were
when
going
you
to
got
arrest you
there.
for being high on the
It
plane?
was from the night before it rolled over. So I was so
wow.
high from the night before that I'm like, I'm gonna just sleep it off. And I tried to sleep it off. I couldn't sleep. So then when I finally get to sleep, I'm probably asleep for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I got to go catch this flight. Now I'm in Miami, so that's a quick flight, but I'm just overthinking everything.
Yeah.
Brain on another level.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to make it to this flight. This is an important meeting. So I get to the airport and I get through security clearance, and then I'm right at the gate, and I'm just like, no, I'm going back to Miami. Like I'm going back.
Can't do
Yeah, I'm
this.
going back. I'm going back home. So like literally overthink. Like went on Google. I started researching like how does this work, because I had never been this high smoking.
Yeah.
You know, and so I read it was like, oh, it goes to your bloodstream. I'm like, oh, okay. So I got to just ride this one out.
That's what
You
happened.
eat
I still
something,
didn't know
drink
that to
water,
this day.
sleep it off.
Yeah, you got to ride it out. Yeah, it goes into your
Literally,
bloodstream. But
yeah.
that's the thing. You brought it up too, BA. Like the batches. Like you before it was legal, you know, to have cannabis, people just whip up edibles, and you could have one cookie and eat that cookie, and it doesn't hit you, and then you're like, oh, this is light, right?
Yeah.
And then you go for a second cookie. Next thing you know, you
in outer space?
you out of your mind.
That's where all the weed concentrated,
Yeah.
the butter right
Yeah.
there.
Y'all remember on
Somebody
the movie
wouldn't have good-
Casino when he was doing the blueberries and the muffins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. He was like, why this blueberry got all the blueberries and this one doesn't?
Yeah,
He was
that's
like, no,
exactly what it
remake this. He was like, you know how long it's going to take? He was like, I don't care how long it's going to take. But like, that's what I probably was going on with those cookies back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Half the weed
Oh,
was
yeah,
in the
for sure.
They weren't
dispersed
measuring
right.
it
Yeah, they
right or
weren't measured right.
anything,
Yeah.
Yeah, so BA, you're a part of the cannabis community too. Give us a little bit of insight, because I want to bounce back and forth. She you know brought us to this story where cannabis has impacted her life for positive
Miss Shannon,
standpoint.
too.
Like, how did you get into this space?
Good stuff, Seattle.
Yeah, no, totally. For me, cannabis, I've been in the industry for over 15 years now.
Oh wow.
So I started in activism. So I was a walking dare sign, like literally tying the red ribbon on the gate. Don't do it. I was an athlete. All of that changed the day my grandfather was diagnosed with cancer. And the doctor said, hey, you should try this thing called marijuana. 100% of my family said, don't do that. Are you crazy? That's the devil's lettuce. You
Right.
can't do any of that. But when you're in that situation, all you care about is keeping the people around you alive, right?
Exactly.
So this was back before Google was a thing. I went to the library, found whatever books I can. You read the first page, you're going to get bored because of how just
Scientific.
yeah.
Or, you know,
But long story short, I realized, oh my gosh, this is actually really, really good for you. This is going to allow you to eat. This is going to help you with your pain. You should try it. At the end of the day, my grandfather said, I don't want to do this, honey, because I don't want to die a criminal. And that's when I felt the true injustice of the system.
Right.
So ended up my sister became the campaign field director for Proposition 19, which would have made cannabis recreationally legal in California. I was the girl at 17 running around Santa Ana getting 1,000 signatures to put it on the
love
ballot.
it.
Wow.
So dope.
Feet
Yeah.
on the
So
ground.
dope.
Boots to the
Yeah.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
So through that, I've had a chance to work with this plant from seed to sale. My whole family's practically in cannabis now. My brother-in-law, he's one of the top geneticists in the world. So they have this incredible grow near the Bay Area. And then my sister, she's the head of the original Breeders League, really pushing the activism side. And then for me, I've realized, oh my gosh, all of this happens, and where does it translate to? It goes right onto the retail floor.
Yep.
Translate.
So, the name of the game has always been the same for me. How do I provide safe access to quality products that are good for you?
Yeah.
I don't walk into the grocery store wondering if my favorite ketchup bottle is going to be there. And people need access to the products that they want and the strains that they want when they need that. So if we can create that consistency, people can have access to their medicine and
Right.
what they need that helps them at the end of the day. So that's how I ended up at Jardin. Like I like to tell people I have two resumes. I have my tech resume and then I have my trap resume.
Okay.
Okay.
And at one point there was a fork in the road where it's like, okay, do I continue down this path of tech or do I want to transition into cannabis? Because I love this so much. So that's exactly what I did. And I moved to Vegas for Jardin.
Oh, wow.
Specifically.
Oh, wow.
From
Yeah.
where exactly?
From the Bay.
Okay, from the Bay.
Yeah, so I was transitioning between the Bay and LA. And that's how I ended up here in Las Vegas, which I absolutely love. And she's right. Like, there's not that much, because there was so much, negative stigma behind this plant. The education and the science behind it isn't really brought up. So all we're doing is translating through each other what's worked and what hasn't.
Absolutely.
At Jardin, we've been able to create something called Jardin University, where we teach on all of this, and we actually opened up to the public last year. And like, for example, not even a month ago, we had a class that was cannabis and cancer. We had the whole room packed, and it just blows my mind how much information is out there that people don't know. And I think that's the main thing for me, is like, how do I at least get you the knowledge, or you have the freedom and the capacity to choose what you want, because it's your body. So, at the end of the day, I am a human activist.
That's right.
And, it's a matter of providing that quality products that are good for you, and we'll even educate you on it. Like, I guarantee you, we have some of the best cannabis consultants out there. Like, before you can even touch that POS system, you need to understand introductions to terpenes and cannabinoids, methods of consumptions, because something like us, where we're eating this edible and all of a sudden I can't even take a business flight to Miami,
Right.
we're cracking up now because, shit, we thought we were going to die then and there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I thought it was
But at the end of the day, like, if we educate people on how this works, now this plant becomes something that adds value to your life, right?
Sure.
So like, all of these patients that came down to the retail floor, they grabbed something that would help them get through the morning, something that would help them get through the day, and then something that would help them get through the night. Cannabis, for me, like, I use it now because I understand the terpenes and what works for me. Like, if you're in your head, probably stay away from pinene, because that is a memory intention that's going to keep it up, right? For me, I love terpenoline, but I also know that gets me, hungry. But like, I use something called blackjack as a pre-workout, and most people think that cannabis actually just makes you fall asleep, when it
I
could
used
do
to
the
make me
complete
fall asleep.
opposite.
I used to think like
It's the
that.
terpenes, though.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, the terpenes will affect your body, or like how your mind is too. So same thing. Like she says, blackjack. I've smoked blackjack before going to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, like the strain, and like there's pinene, and it opens your chest up, and and I can breathe better, which is
Yeah.
crazy because you think I'm smoking.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I go to the gym, and I smoke before I go into the gym, and I'm bumping my music high as
Yeah.
hell, like
More
vibing.
creative.
More
I'm
creative,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so-
Not worried about anybody else, and I'm able to really like just hyper focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah, and so I find that super intriguing too, because growing up in the Midwest, we just had Reggie. All we had was Reggie, and like, I would see people smoke. First of all, I didn't like aesthetically what it did to the lips and the gums. I'm like, I don't want my lips and gums look like that.
Yeah.
Then two, people sleeping, hungry and sleeping, and I'm like, man, if that's all y'all do is just sleep all day. I had no one. I really felt like didn't have the proper education. I actually didn't
definitely
learn.
didn't.
I didn't learn about all the
still don't.
things until I actually lived in the Bay.
Yeah.
Ironically. And I'm living in San Jose. I'm on Santana Row.
Wow.
And so I had a really good friend of mine. She was in the real estate and who was from there. And one day we go get brunch. And she's like, do you smoke? And I'm like, what I told you. I said,
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight. Like, you might smoke me under the table. Really, I am a lightweight. So she was like, I was like, plus I don't want to be sleepy. And she was like, no, you're not going to be sleepy. I was like, you smoke? And she's like, yeah, this is how I get through my days. I was like, I got kids, I got work. So she was like, yeah, this is how I stay productive. I'm like, how? So she starts educating me on sativa and indica. And I'm like, oh. So I got a crash course on it then. I felt like Cali really opened me up to what cannabis really is. Because from there, I'm with one of my other homegirls. We in North Hollywood. She from Chicago. And I'm having a conversation with her. She loves to smoke. So she's like, hey, you trying to smoke? I'm like, nah, I got stuff to do. And she's like, perfect. I got this stuff called Frankenstein. It's gonna be perfect for you. Like, to think, you're creative. It's the perfect thing. And she was not lying. Like, my brain was on another level in a great way. But it opened me up. And it wasn't until I got to Cali that I really started understanding what cannabis really is. So now I look at what was being smoked back then. I'm like, oh, this is what y'all smoking. And I'm on the surface. Y'all talking about terpenes and all of these different, all these different cannabinoids and stuff like that. And it's really, really intriguing because there's so much that cannabis can change. And it seems like, not even seems that you two are pioneering and championing the education behind it and really having a true testimony on what it can do, I think is powerful.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
all
what
about
I'm
planting
saying?
the seed, like no pun intended, but like especially here in Vegas, we were just talking about this. We're an international melting pot, right? A place like Jardin where people are coming because it already has the brand presence. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a dispensary. It is a lifestyle retail store. You don't gotta smoke weed to walk in there. You don't gotta know anything about
no, it's
weed. You can
beautiful
go in
in
there,
there.
buy some dope merch.
Yep.
Meet some people. It might be a meet and greet with a celebrity or something. But all it takes is that one bud tender or that one employee. But hey, this is. I know you don't smoke, but this is what this does, or this is what they're getting, or this might help you if you have this going on. And they're gonna go home to whatever city, whatever country they live in, and they're gonna take that information and they're gonna go research it. They're gonna go think about it. You know what I mean? So it's places like Jardin that create that experience for the tourism out here when it comes to cannabis. Because they're going to go to wherever they live, whether it's legal, illegal, and they're going to have that experience of knowing that they got educated. And they're going to share that information with someone else. Oh, I went to Vegas. I went to this place called Jardin, and I know you don't smoke, but check it out. And they have this and they have that. And, it's like, it's planting the seed. One person can go to millions. You know what I mean? That's all it
absolutely.
takes is one conversation. 5 seconds.
Absolutely.
It can last a whole lifetime.
And you're right about Jardin. I'm a big fan of Jardin, even though I'm not a huge smoker.
Yeah.
But the brand presence and obviously the educational aspect of it is really huge,
Yeah.
and the merch as well. There's all these different things. We obviously had a chance to interact with each other at Complex Con, and that was really fun and amazing. But it really showed also what Jardin's plans was to pretty much transition or transcend the competition, for the lack of better words, because there's some elements of Jardin, if you've ever been in there, if anybody that's watching has ever been in there, they know. But if you haven't, I highly encourage it. If you come to Vegas, take some time and then come off the strip and go over to Jardin and experience the atmosphere, because it's first of all, it's really good looking people that work there. Second of all, it's
Got some
just
beautiful people. I'm on deck. We're going to that ASAP. I'm on my way.
aesthetically, just the aesthetics of the way Jardin looks is really incredible too. So
That definitely
you
is.
partner everything together, and then obviously what you guys are doing outside of the building, outside the property, that's going to catapult everybody to want to come see it and then get that education as well. So I commend you both for doing it. You know what I mean? It's really dope.
I appreciate you
It's
guys.
the community aspect.
Yeah,
It's all about
please
community.
come. Please
Yeah.
come. For
Oh, yeah.
us, I think it's so important that we just show the positive side of this plant, and it doesn't have to be scary first and foremost. At the end of the day, you say competition, right? In reality, we're fighting a war that's been going on for 80 years.
Absolutely.
The war on drugs. And at the end of the day, we just want to do this the right way, pioneer it the right way. And most importantly, there's stuff out there that's literally bad for you. Before it even gets into our store, we are checking this thing from left and right to the point where we can show you the top 3 terpene profiles on the back of any of the products, which allows you to cater what you want to feel, right? So that's a whole nother level. You're going from a sommelier, sommeliers, know
absolutely.
everything about wine. Well, be a ganjier and know how this, works for you. I have a saying, your friend, I totally resonate with her.
I got to write that down.
And as a personal consumer, I do this every day. I don't care what anyone says. I'll tell you this. I have coffee for the things I can change and weed for the things I can't.
I saw that on your Instagram
I
page.
like
I
that.
saw that. I was
You
like,
better
that's a
coin
bar.
that.
Yeah,
You
that's
better
what I'm
coin
saying.
that. That's the first time
She
I've
got
ever
a
heard
couple
it.
different
Can we
rules
put that on a
she used to
t-shirt?
coin.
I want to definitely do that. But that's the ultimate truth. It gives you the ability to really just, it's like there's these 2 voices, right? And when that cannabis voice comes in, it's nothing's really that bad. Half empty, half
not
full,
that
right?
Right, absolutely.
And it just has you hear that other aspect that of your own voices that allows you to say everything's fine. We gonna get through this. So
Now, I got to put it out there because we transitioned into you to give your input on what Seattle was saying. But what are you doing for Jardin? What is your title?
So my title is Director of Operations, but
Okay,
even
gotta tell
then,
them.
I appreciate that, but I am just a cog in a bigger piece. I can't even take any credit for anything. We have the most incredible team, insanely incredible. They not only take this, for me, I'll give you an example. If I put out a ad on we're looking for bud tenders, I'll get over 100 people that will apply. Of the 100, maybe 10 will meet the marks and in terms of like paper qualifications. And then when we meet, I might take one, I might take none. So there's a 0.98% chance of becoming a bud tender on our floor. A lot of that has to, and if you meet some of our bud tenders, a lot of them don't come from this market, or they come from illegal markets, right, where they didn't get the education behind this. But as long as you have the passion for this and you want to see this industry thrive, we can teach you everything else, no problem, right? So like my role as director of operations is just to be that liaison and just to keep everything flowing. The name of the game for me is SOPs, standards of operations.
For sure.
How do we streamline this, make this more effective and efficient, and run this like a 3-star Michelin restaurant where everybody knows what they're doing like clockwork. Right?
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
And I might have that title, but at the end of the day, like I like to say, make it hard to spot the general by working like a soldier. I am not the person that will sit there and allow trash to like pass by. Every 15 minutes we have a parking lot sweep
You guys
going
will
on.
see her out there
Right?
with a glove in hand with some Louboutins on her feet, like, picking up trash.
Yeah, because it's a culture.
Nah, I
It's a
agree.
culture thing. And I go right up next to her and start picking up trash. Cause
I definitely agree with that. Nick is a testament too, because that's how I really operate. I'm a behind the scenes guy, but at the same time, I'm always in the front of something. But at the same time, I'm low key. I will push anybody that's around me to the forefront to make sure that we're amplifying and championing that person in any capacity. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring you guys on this show, because even Seattle, he's like, I don't want to tell my story. I was like, no, people need to hear it.
Tell your story.
Because people need to hear the type of stuff. I didn't know that was in your background, and I have people in my family that use cannabis for medicinal purposes. And me, it doesn't work with me. I'm on a natural high on a day in, day out basis. I barely sleep, but at the same time, like I get up and I get to it. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out ways that I can help every individual, because my father, before he passed away of pancreatic cancer. Marijuana could have helped him. And in that capacity, I always try to figure out, he said, try to cultivate and grow these relationships. And so from that standpoint with my father, he was like, relationships are the key to your thriving in life. And so I'm a big relationship guy. Like, if anybody knows me, if you mess up a relationship with me, has to be on you, because I'm going to give you every opportunity. I'm going to give you a second chance. I'm going to even give you a third chance. Just because if you don't see that the relationship that you're cultivating can grow something, you guys have, each individual have a story that is growing in a relationship and has brought you together to grow the Jardin brand, the Translation brand. And even guys sitting here today, I'm sitting back just learning the information, because you're translating to me stuff that I don't even know about the cannabis business and the industry. And I'm just sitting here like in awe, like, this is good information. Because it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know too much about it, except for when I hopped on the plane and I was getting ready to crash out because I was too high.
Yeah.
So, definitely thank you for telling your story and being on here. Like, just tell us more about how the Jardin is integrating into the city and what it's doing for small and local businesses as well.
Oh, we are so tapped in. We are here for the culture, the community at the end of the day, right? Let's just say locals don't wait in tourist lines.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, like when you even think about like COVID, right? And when everything was shutting down, hospitals were open and Jardin, right?
Makes sense.
And so like at the end of the day, we want to do the right thing. We want to take care of our businesses. Like you just met one of the people that we've obviously worked with on an incredible capacity, right? And we're welcoming all businesses. Let's work together. I'll give you a prime example. I have a girl on our team. Her name is Glenn. She is an activist. She's also a host on TED Talks, right?
Oh, wow.
Wonderful human being. And we created something called the Glen Bin, where we take recycled jars and give it to her. Then she turns around, redistributes those glass jars to the local businesses that turn around and create something out of it, from candles to other things. And then they go ahead and they recycle that to make money for their business. That's on a small scale. And then we've partnered with businesses as well to not only just promote their services, but also get the word out there. We do a ton of events. We were like the first dispensary ever to support the Human Rights Campaign. We've been a part of that. We've done the Super Bowl, anything and everything that you can think of. We're really open to, because like what you guys are doing, where you are opening up your doors to give us a chance to speak, but most importantly, you're creating those connections and those relationships. It's no different here, right? We tend to get, in our industry, we get the door shut on us, right? But we are a legal business that's doing right by people that just want to make an honest living too, right? And so by combining efforts, right, now it's not just about resources, but being resourceful. And we could all just tap in together, right? And it coincides on so many different levels, like the synchronicities here. You guys are out there. And I could think of a lot worse things to do out here in Vegas.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we're here. We're live. We did Reggae Rise Up, for example. That was a really fun one. 2026 is looking really awesome too. So got to
Can we get on the calendar and figure out a way to collaborate 2026? Yes,
definitely keep us in the loop with that. I mean, I want to dial it back a bit because you kind of shied away from your title. I think perception is everything. And the fact that the way that you carry yourself and handle the business for Jardin is uber important because people have to see that too. People have to see that there's productivity there. I think that was the biggest thing for me learning cannabis for the first time was like, can I be productive? I don't want to loaf on the couch. I got stuff to do. So the fact that, we see you, anybody that knows you, has done business with you, knows you're on the go, you're making things happen. And that's a testament to Jardin's success. I don't care what you say. I'm going to tell you that regardless. And then obviously having somebody as cool as Seattle, I've had the pleasure of interacting with her, having conversations. It's not just the grower circle. It's not just Jardin or cookies. She's really championed a couple different lanes out here in Vegas. And kind of to go back to what you said about there's worser things to do in Vegas. But that's the point, right? Like, you're taking the perception of cannabis and you're turning around and making it more positive. It's the same thing that what we're doing all today is we're giving Vegas this look that say, hey, look, you got some people that's maybe not from here, but we've been here long enough to know and care that you guys need a magnifying glass to see that there's other cool things besides the negative things that is associated with Vegas or are associated. Sin City, right? So it's just like, to hear you two say it and really champion that, we're behind you and supporting it as well. Obviously, we got Steve playing in the back right now. He's got skin in the game here in Vegas for 13 years, and he feels the same way. He's looking at ways to try to scale his business and impact the community too. So, seeing Jardin, because it's easy. It's like, okay, cool. You got a dispensary. We make money. We don't have to interact with the community, but you two and Jardin and the businesses that you're intertwined with are doing the complete opposite. So we have to talk about that stuff here on the platform.
I appreciate that,
yeah. What other projects you have going on? Because I was going to segue into that, but I wanted to let you talk about it.
I also work for the Global Gaming League.
Okay.
We are, I don't know if you guys, we met at Complex Con, right? So the CEO is Clinton Sparks, Grammy-nominated producer.
Shout out Clinton Sparks.
Shout out Clinton, man.
Sparks,
he's doing something that's kind of changing the gaming world. How y'all gonna get me really into this now? Global Gaming League is pretty much a gaming league, a celebrity gaming league. Celebrity-owned teams. Look, I'm too excited. I can't even talk. Celebrity-owned teams. We have Terpenes, who's one of our team owners, also founder of the company. He's one of Clinton's homies. And pretty much we have a platform where you can game. You could be from anywhere around the world, any age. Doesn't matter. You don't got to be an esports putting 12 hours a day into, your whole life devoted to it. Gaming is unity. So we're talking about community and unity. People play games to decompress, to connect with their family members, to make friends. Like me, when I was sick, I was playing Call of Duty all the time. I was playing, Rainbow Six. I had my little laptop with my controller for DJing music, and then I had my PlayStation 1 connected to the TV, literally sitting at the edge of the bed with the cord hanging. And that was the only thing I had to do. And I would go move up in the ranks of playing all the games, unlocking guns or unlocking different maps and things like that. So what Clinton is doing, he's bringing people from all around the world and bringing people with celebrity status, whether they're athletes, musicians, actors, bringing them all together in one space so everyone has the opportunity to come together and just game and spend time together and have a good time.
That's awesome.
Our first episode, you could watch on YouTube, by the way, is Neo versus Terpenes.
Okay. Who won?
Neo actually won that one. I was not expecting because if y'all don't know, Terpenes been playing video games for how many?
He's heavy.
Shout out to Nappy Boy Gaming, man. They be
for sure.
They be killing it. I really thought Terpenes was going to take it, but Neo came through on the last round of Tekken and Murder
Are they
game.
playing Tekken?
They're
Oh, that's
playing
crazy. I gotta
Tekken,
go
and
watch
that's what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, I
like,
definitely gotta
T-Pain
check it
really
out.
be playing it.
Yeah.
If y'all go watch the episode on YouTube. Our next episode will be, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but our next episode is going to be
Tell us.
in February. And
Okay.
It's going to be
You got postponed, right?
Yeah, Howie Mandel versus Gillian Wallow. So
That's
we
gonna
have
be-
two different people from two different walks of life, different
Definitely.
communities.
Yeah.
You know, y'all know Gillian Wallow, and we
Yeah.
got Howie Mandel.
know
doing
Howie
it.
Mandel
So two
is,
different
yeah.
types of people,
Yeah.
two different types of audiences are going to come together and game.
That's
Tony
fire.
Hawk, Call of Duty. And it's all types of games. I have Tetris, we have Atari, it's
all the games.
generations, you know what I mean? And gaming, like you were in tech too. Like it brings people together, and it's not gonna stop, right?
Right.
Well, especially with AI now and VR and all these things, like gaming is huge.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like most professional gamers, they get paid more than any other artist or
Oh,
athlete.
yeah.
It's it's $1 billion industry. y'all.
Disruptive
crazy.
market. Yeah.
And the thing with Clinton is he sees that and he doesn't really care about the money. He just wants everybody to have a chance to be somebody. Feel like you're cool. Feel like you're on T-Pain's team, on Mark Wahlberg's team. You know what I mean? Like you get to play video games with these guys and like
right.
be on TV with them. You know,
Yeah, that's
and that's
really
just
cool.
it gives people a safe space. You know, it's hard, especially after COVID. People don't know how to communicate, or like socializing is weird now. You know, so Clinton really brought all these people together and created this platform and this space where people can just feel like there's somebody and have somewhere to go and have a good time and be whoever they want to be.
Absolutely.
You know, and
That's dope.
you could be disabled, you could be a veteran, you could be 5 years old, you could be 50, 70 years old. And you could become like, we have a team, we have a Discord, very, very active Discord, and people from all around the world came together and made their own little team. And they came out here during the esports day and competed in Marvel Rivals and won.
Oh, wow.
They had never met before in their life. They
That's
only
crazy.
met each other through Global Gaming League's Discord and then playing in the little matches that we host.
Wow.
That's
They
incredible.
we flew them all to Vegas. They all met for the first time in person and placed.
Wow.
And
That's
like
incredible.
it's the craziest thing. And like, you know, they're in there every single day. It's like a form of therapy. People talk about their lives, how, you know, we have a member in our Discord who lost a family member, and right before that family member passed, said, rely and go to GGL. Go to Global Gaming League. That is your family. Know they're going to be here for you. Know I'm going to support you in everything they do, that you do with them. And like,
Wow.
he tells his story all the time. Like, you know, my family member passed, and one of the number one things that got me through it was this community.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's so crazy. So many different people from different walks of life that talk how gaming helps heal them, helps bring, you know, unity. There's a lot of other organizations like Gold Star Gamers. They mainly help kids who've lost their parents in war, like POWs, or
wow.
parents who, who are retired or veterans who committed suicide or took their own lives. So they have a whole organization just for kids that connect with each other. They have mentors that are with them every single day that are, you know, certified in therapy, and they game and they teach them things and how to get through without their parents in their lives anymore, you know, all through gaming.
Key to what you said was community.
Community,
I mean,
and that's
a lot
like,
of people
you know,
a lot of people need that community and that infrastructure to help them get through life.
Yeah.
A lot of people out here isolated by themselves, and like you said, those games and that community
they could
allows
be
them
whoever
to
they want, man.
allows them
It
to
don't
interact.
matter what you wear, how
What's
much
that
money
movie
you got.
called?
You could be
Ready Player
missing a
One.
leg.
There's a movie called Ready
You
Player
could be,
One.
you could be blind. You
Yeah.
could be breathing out of the tube, but you playing. You know, nobody even knows, but you killing at the game. You ranking number one
that's all
every
that
round.
matter,
You
yeah.
know.
That's definitely how I decompress. I mean,
Yeah.
I like
Game?
this. Yeah.
Like the
Oh
game?
my gosh, Call of Duty all day. Yeah.
Even there's people like who play Wii,
Ops,
like,
right?
You know, like when I was in the hospital, I couldn't exercise, so I was playing tennis with just my arm. I had Ivy in this arm and playing tennis on the Wii. You know what I'm saying?
Wii
Like,
tennis is fire.
and that was like, I was an athlete before that. I was playing soccer, flag football since I was like 5 years old. You know, QB all the way up until I was playing, you know, competitive soccer and club soccer, and then I couldn't play sports at all no more. As a kid, I was losing my mind. So that was one way I got through it, was playing video games, you know?
That's dope.
And then I got out, and then I would play video games and get high, and I was like, shit, this is where it's at. I play video games, get high, and then make some mixes and listen to house music and play on the vinyls. I'm like, okay,
So
this
you
is
got a whole vibe.
the whole thing going.
Whole vibe
My
going.
room was a kicking spot for sure, but it was just for me. It was my safe space.
Yeah, my therapy is cussing people out on the
Okay, all day.
He an athlete too, so
On the
yeah.
court for real.
Yeah,
Okay, you
I gotta
really
go in the
ball.
40 and over leagues now. I used to hang out with the young guys. I can't do it no more.
you
I
got
feel
the
so
gas
slow.
tank for
Yeah,
that.
I feel so
same.
slow now. But you know, I used to cuss people out on the basketball court. That's my thing. That was my therapy.
So B.A., hold on. You said you in the gaming too. So
Who would've thought?
how are you balancing?
Snipers over shotguns.
Oh, okay. On the quick scope.
I was gonna
or what?
ask, like, how are you? What other projects you have going on outside of Jardin? Because I know you mentioned tech.
Yeah.
You're an advocate for cannabis.
Yeah.
And you're also a gamer. So,
Yeah,
like, give
all
us
the
an insight
above.
of what you got going on when you clock out.
Flex on us a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. This is a rolling, not a
She don't
stopwatch. So, every day is Monday for me, and I love my Mondays. And because we're building a business and operating legally in a federally illegal market, this is a nonstop grind. So I hate to say it like this. Please do not copy me, but I 1,000% work all the time.
Oh no, I can believe that.
Right, but I love it.
I
This is what-
1,000% work
my
all the
thing
time
is like
too.
this. Like this is not. It's yes. It's I've figured out how to turn my passion into a
A
career.
lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, really.
Right.
Does
Yeah.
that make
doesn't
sense?
feel like
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah,
It don't
and
feel like
so
work.
no, it definitely feels like work. I'm definitely putting in work, right? But it's more so like for me, it's not about the time you put in. It's like what are the results,
The impact
Okay.
you're
right?
making every day.
So like I know people like I that can like do 10x the amount of work that someone would do in 8 hours. That's just sitting down. But for me, it's like, did we get the result that we're looking for, and where are we at right now, right? So, like for example, like a big thing for me is working with our local government on some of the regulations that just absolutely do not make sense, not just for the consumer that like at the end of the day, but also for the businesses to thrive that are supporting the community, right? So, like cannabis, for example. We had touched on this briefly, but cannabis actually brings in more tax revenue dollars than both the tobacco and alcohol industry combined here.
Better tell 'em.
Right?
Better tell
So, like when you're driving down those streets a little upset because they're getting fixed, no, it's because the funding is there to do that, and cannabis plays an integral role in all of that.
That's incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
From being able to make sure that our streets are working and street lights are working to even education, it plays such a huge role. And so for me, like, the next step is now that we've worked on our SOPs and we fine-tuned everything and created some efficiencies, how do we now take this proof of concept and explore other areas within the U.S. that
Absolutely.
are also looking for this plant,
Absolutely.
right? So now it's about expanding, right, and ensuring that we can keep the same consistency and the same brand standards across the board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And it's needed. And that's the approach to take. I think the blueprint is in what you all are doing over there and what you're doing in the city of Las Vegas. All eyes are on Vegas anyway. So you might as well take an opportunity and advantage of it because people are paying attention to Vegas. Whether
plant that seed, like I was
whether we got
saying.
So
sports.
does that help some in the capacity of they're talking about the tourism is down and that what you guys are doing and influxing into the city? Does that help as well?
Well, I would assume that we help because one, we pay taxes, but two, I like to say I'm your favorite rapper's trapper.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm very fortunate to get the call when certain people come and fly into town and the first place they want to go to is Jardin.
Sure.
And I really think at the end of the day, when you look at it, we're not this like large MSO. We are really a mom and pop shop. Like speed of the leader, speed of the group. And one thing I'm really, really thankful for is Adam Denmark Cohen.
Adam.
That is our
Yeah.
owner,
Shout out to
our
Adam.
founder.
Go.
Just an incredible human being that is just such a good guy, right? Just in general. And so having that type of leadership where it's not just me, I'm
Right.
seeing him grind
Right.
all day, nonstop for this industry because we go against everything. Like everyone's trying to come left and right at us. And it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we know what we're doing, we're intentional about it, and we know how many people we can help when more people know about Jardin.
Absolutely.
Jardin stands for garden in several different languages.
I did not know that. I was going to ask
Yeah.
what Jardin meant too.
Yeah,
Glad you said that.
and our people, we like to say are our flowers, and we want to see them grow. Right,
good
that's
story.
also community members right there.
Bars.
And I like to say we're the Garden of Whedon, right?
Okay,
We're this
okay.
oasis
Okay.
in the desert, right?
Okay.
So that's what we're here to do, and I just want to see that translate across the board throughout the U.S. Right? We're the most award-winning dispensary, not just in Vegas, but in the nation.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I don't tell you that to impress you, but
No,
just
no,
to
it's
impress
it's
upon
incredible.
you, like,
It's impressive though.
yeah, what the team is up to and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep it running. Like, think about like Kobe. Like, do you think that at the end of the day, when he's done hitting the game, do you think that he's like, oh, well, I'm just going to kick back now?
Nope.
No, he's back in the
Yep.
gym. He was
Yep.
back in the gym, like
Kobe said
hitting
the job
it,
not
right?
done.
Yeah, job not
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah.
Yep.
So until we get to that point where, you know, we're able to get people safe access to quality products like the grower circle, like we gotta go. Let's
plenty
keep
of work to do.
going.
Right.
Yeah, plenty.
Absolutely.
And we're still locking in, all of us,
Yeah.
right? So imagine
Oh,
when we
yeah.
combine these efforts. I like to say it's not this huge macro leap to success. For
sure.
Some micro
Micro.
things that we do that compound over time. I'm not worried about what's going on in the White House. I'm worried about what's going on in my house, in
Yep.
my backyard.
That's right, talking.
And how do we take care of our people that are here?
Absolutely.
I say
That's
all
what
the
circles
time.
back to about
Yeah.
relationships and everything too. You know.
But that's what I say all the time, man. We got to police our own communities. We got to help our own communities. It's not I'm not big into politics. But, I know you have to be, but I understand politics, and I get into it a little bit. But it's about policing our own communities. You wouldn't have to have, if you're incubating your community, if you're helping out the small businesses, and you're being intentional about it, then your communities are going to be able to grow and thrive together. And so that's what I'm definitely
Power in numbers,
Yeah,
too, right?
definitely strength in
Yeah.
numbers. You know, whatever they're doing over there, it doesn't bother us because we're going to make sure that we're taken care of.
And we have the right intentions.
I
and
bought
we
a
take
few
care of our
groceries for
yeah.
people that didn't have their SNAP benefits,
Yeah.
and so like those type of community people, you got to continue to help them and incubate them, and that's what we're trying to do here in Translation. We're definitely trying to work with you guys in some capacity, figure out what the ground floor will look like, and whatever's going to be a slow process, but we've got to move right and move together, and so that's what the whole process is about over here.
I love that. I love
Absolutely.
that.
Thank you guys for having us. This is dope.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. So tell the people how we can find you. Give us their business pages. Give us your personal pages.
Yeah, I
Let us
got a
know how
long
we
list
can
of
find you.
IGs and Instagram labels to go down.
Well, of course, at Jardin Las Vegas. That's the number one, or
That's how you spell it.
jardinlasvegas.com. We have retail, we have curbside, and we have the best delivery. I can promise you that.
Hey,
Facts.
So, yeah.
Facts. You're gonna get high with it like right away. There's been a couple times like I'm too lazy.
You want those moonwalkers and some grower circle, just you can
Okay.
tap in. I like to say true VIP, skip the line, we'll bring it out to you, just do our curbside. But that's Jardin Las Vegas. And then my personal is Brittany.Jasmine, BrittanyJasmine.
Okay.
But stop by the shop too. Like, one
Absolutely.
thing I want to definitely do is give you guys a VIP tour. I love doing that for people. And then when I walk them through, like I had this whole cannabis law group, students from UNLV that came. And I was like, you see guys, we don't grow in a garage, and look at all these people.
Right.
We have ops, we have HR, we have marketing, we have even a podcast studio, believe it or
Yeah.
not,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it's really cool when you actually see the dynamics and how this place operates and runs and functions. Like, incredible. So
Yeah, it's not just a dispensary. It's a home for a lot of people. I see people who just go there to kick it. They buy
All the
weed
time.
and they just come and hang out. Like, people are just hanging out in the parking lot. You know, people
as
are
they
like,
should.
oh, let's look up at Jardin, and like they have events in the parking lot. People are there for the whole day. Like as a brand where I'm bringing my product out and we're promoting our brand Grower Circle. When I'm clocking in to go help with the event, there's customers and just normal community people there the whole time.
Hanging
Got their
out.
bikes out, doing wheelies, hanging out, dancing, just because it's a safe space and it's like it's the community essence.
do you remember when Sexy Red was there and
Oh my
everyone
God.
started twerking on top of their
Their
car?
car. Yeah, they had a whole music video, and then
I love it.
Yeah, their whole music video, and people were there the whole day.
Did I even get
Loved
that
it.
content?
Block party.
Did I even get that on camera?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
everywhere.
Okay.
It was everywhere.
Absolutely.
But Twitter was going crazy that day.
I bet.
Twitter was
incredible.
going crazy.
Wow.
Dance crews came out. Shout out to Kang.
Yeah.
And the Future Kings. They came
Yeah,
out and they
okay.
just for shits and giggles and started dancing too. Like, you know, it was cool. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Well, you get it. That's how we do it in the Bay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know,
I love the Bay Area.
Yeah, we
I love
do.
the Bay
Like,
Area.
Bay
I
Area
definitely
has
love
its
the Bay, too.
whole
We got our
other
own
Love
vibe.
it.
vibe.
Yeah, I
for
love
sure.
the Bay. That's literally one of my favorite places. If
No, I
somebody
definitely
asked me,
love the Bay, too.
where would you want to live? I'll think about San Jose. I was just there twice this year.
Yeah.
Just there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
408,
yeah,
baby.
I love
Yeah.
I love downtown San Jose. I love everything.
Yeah, you're the Santana Row. I get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been in East Bay. I've been like at all the different areas of San Jose. So
If you're ever out there, you should go to Major Waves Lab, the custom shoe lab. They have one here in Resorts World too, but he just opened his San Jose location.
Oh, that's
Fire.
okay.
Shout out to Ruben, man. That's my
yeah.
brother. He's doing a lot of great things. Community too.
I got a bunch of shit. I'm gonna bring over
clothes.
him. Shit, custom shoes.
We're also, I'm gonna drop this right now. We're dropping major pack of Jardin Q1.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that the exclusive drop right here?
Exclusive Major Waves, major pack. Yeah.
So how can we find you?
Okay,
Where do we find you?
You can find the Grower Circle on Instagram, and then Global Gaming League on Instagram, and then my personal Instagram is SEATTAL_.
Seattle.
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 Well, listen, it's been a pleasure. We could spend another hour.
We could chop it up all day, man.
Oh, this is just only round one. We got round 2 and 3
Yeah.
coming. So
Bring more people.
when we do the
bring
tour,
community.
we're gonna pop up with the content for that one as well too.
All day.
Yes,
Live
yes,
streaming,
yes.
whatever,
That's the point. Like, we really championing the idea community, as we talked about off camera and a little bit on camera. And again, like, it's easy for me, to show loyalty because I understand the vision, and then obviously there's amazing people behind what you're doing. So I rock with
Definitely
the
amazing
energy.
people.
The energy is all the way there, and it's going to cause everybody to rise up to the cream rise to the top. If you're the top of the crop, then you're gonna rise up. And like, really, Jardin is pioneering that, and yourself and to Cookies and everybody that are involved are really just pushing the envelope here in the city. And I think that this is incredible, and I'm excited to see what Q1 and the rest of 2026 is going to look like. Like, I'm super excited.
I'm excited too. Us all connecting and linking after Complex Con. I appreciate you guys reaching out.
For
I know we
sure.
chopped it up, and like, I'm ready to see what you guys are gonna do and how you guys are gonna also just help the community, because we're all transplants and we're all here at the same vision.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I think the biggest thing too, and Kurt knows this too, and we talked about it, like, even just doing some of the content for Jardin as well. I was like, I'll jump on the mic, and really, so the way that the relationship happened, we came over to your office, myself and Sin City Thriller, and we were talking about Chaz, and Chaz is Tuesday, so Tuesday is super close to Sin City Thriller, and there was this tabled idea of collaboration for Complex Con, and we were like, we can make that happen. We can expedite that, and we really want to make it happen because we started the kickback, and the idea was for us to collaborate with you all. But that was also tabled, so it was kind of like, I want to rock with Jardin. I just don't know anybody over there. Like, I got DJ Limelights, who DJs for Gucci.
Amazing.
We went to college together. So I got a whole story about Mo. Mo, that's my guy. And then you have Bootleg Kev. Bootleg Kev is real close with one of my people down in Phoenix. So there's a bunch of people that are attached to Jardin. My brother Ryan Wolf in Cleveland. So these are all people I actually know personally. And I'm like, man, all my guys are behind Jardin. I had never really been over to the campus. I call it the campus because we've been over there. It's huge. And then I walk into your office and meet B.A. and it was up from there. I'm like, they cool as hell over here. Like, we gotta do stuff with them. So again, like, I pledge that loyalty to y'all because of what we've already started and what we're going to continue to grow. So I look forward to it. I can't stress it enough.
Well, shout out to Sin City Thriller. Yeah, he's awesome. And you guys too, like, this is like attracts like, just like water attracts water. And like, I really love what you guys are doing, and really the translation at the end of the day, and giving that voice, because that's the difference that makes the difference. And being able to look back at these talks and having the memories and the history of it, that's such a huge deal. Translating these things across the board is how we've existed,
Absolutely.
I
And
like her.
I told you, B.A.
You should hear me after I smoke.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta go do that right now.
So the Seattle said B.A. was coming. I said, oh, hell yeah. I said, we got both of them on at the same time. And we got Steve coming on before that. I'm geeked.
Well, I'm excited to not only support your endeavors, but like, let's really execute on some of these things. You said that it was tabled, but I'm a firm believer in right time, right place, and right people.
Absolutely. There's no way it moved that fast if it wasn't the right time. I completely agree.
Simplicity is genius, and if you just have those three components, everything changes. So.
Absolutely. I'm glad it came together. For sure.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Translation, sponsored by Translation, or powered by Translation Media. We're going to give a shout out to our people over at Meta H2O again.
Delicious.
One of our sponsorships, delicious alkaline water. What you say?
I said I drink all mine. I need another.
Oh, you know.
I'm gonna need a case of this.
I got a whole case of it. You know how I do that. Shout out to all our people that support, like, sharing, and like, sharing. What's the other one?
Comment.
Subscribe, follow, like, share, follow.
You know
Yeah.
I need some of that indica sativa stuff. Whatever.
I got you.
That would be a fun fun one. All of us
We should do it smoking
consuming together,
Yes.
and it just
Man, tap in the
Talking.
Hardin.
I love it.
Hey y'all,
I
tap
think we
in the
should do
Hardin. This is man, they translating the city over here in Las Vegas. They're transcending the community, not just locally, but all across the country. Man, continue to tap in with us at Translation Media. Check out SEL Code Agency as well. C Blair and Associates, that's me.
Nick Beam with 3 eyes, the 3 eyes for
Exactly.
the Trinity.
I'm also another person, Mr. C Blair.
Oh, my bad. I was excited.
And Mr. Trinity, man, live, love, life, y'all. Love y'all, man. Salute, stay solid, man. Appreciate it.
amazing.